Well, I really think it started after the MACE. Like, I called that my turning point in grade 9, because that's when I realized that we could shape our projects and shape our thinking to be more like individualized and personalized rather than, okay, you have to follow the book by the rules. So I don't know, it just kind of like stuck with me. Definitely this year though, like seeing my perspective change, and over last year and this year, just focusing more on like your own ideas rather than the right answer, or like having the right answer. So
being placed into this sort of independent place, like kind of not really thrown in, but just like nudged into like doing your own, doing your work at your own pace, and then just slowly realizing over the years that there is really no one telling me the answers, telling me the steps. There's someone who's just nudging me there. And after all these years, I realized that it is actually just like me teaching myself in a way, because I am just learning while they are just trying to push me in the right direction. And it just kind of gives you this feeling of autonomy, where you don't really need to sit there and listen to someone talk. You can listen, you could just go online and look up how to do it by yourself.
Like even with a problem, I've been able to have peers that I can go and seek feedback and advice about. I have teacher mentors that I'm able to, again, say, what would you actually do in this scenario? And I think also the most importantly is that the independence of it is that, you know, with those tools and with that support, I eventually was able to get to a time where I'm like, okay, I can actually trust what I feel in my gut is right to be able to solve this problem.
Now, being here in grade 12, I think if I get a wrong answer, I think I have the excitement to know what I did wrong and eventually lead to the right answer. I think that's just been the entire process since grade 10, 11, and 12.
For instance, in chemistry, I was talking to my brother and I was like, hey, Frankie, I was doing this one thing. I was looking at this video. Can you help me with this thing? And he looked at it and he went, that's stuff I was learning in university, organic chemistry. And you don't learn that. He said he didn't learn that in high school. And he didn't learn it the way, or he didn't learn it in the way that I did. He learned by sitting there, just taking notes and just like writing stuff. And he talks about like how I'm actually in chemistry doing titrations, actually dissecting things, actually like doing the chemical reactions. I'm not just sitting there and writing things down. And at the same time, I'm learning more than he does while also doing hands-on things. He talks about how that's what he wished he had while going into university before he went there.
And I think also the beauty of, you know, education and a learning environment is that I can test that out on my own, and it's acceptable if that doesn't go all right. It's because, again, it's not about what that final product is. It's about what have you learned getting up to that. And I think that's been really fostered for me here.
After the happiness that you get on getting a right answer after getting the wrong answer is so much more than just getting the right answer straight away. That's what I feel like being in grade 12 now, the transformation that I've seen in myself from grade 10 to grade 12. And recently I was just talking with a friend of what good success actually means. Is it just getting this mark, or is it something that you've been trying on for a while and then you eventually get it? So like after good success is something you get after like failing. So there's success, but then there's good success. Like
whenever I move on to university and there's not going to be a professor there coddling me, or just like sitting there and just like, Anthony, you should have done that, you should have done that. They have 150 other students, probably more, to talk to. They're not going to sit there and talk to me. And the fact that I can just go home and be like, I know how to learn, I know how to do my own thing, that feels great. I feel like I'm completely ready for university.